So in the second round with the 54th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Anthony Escalade Belton, the tackle from NC State. And I'm going to be honest, as a Packers fan, this kind of was shocking. I didn't think tackle or offensive line was a big need to select it this early on, but I'm not going to say I don't like the pick because I think Anthony Belton is somebody that has a lot of potential. Dude's like 6'6", 6'5", 340 plus pounds. He's a big dude. That's why his nickname is Escalade. And he has some really good raw power and just quickness to his game. He has the length. And I think this selection pretty much solidifies that Rasheed Walker is not going to be the long-time tackle for the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to let Anthony Belton develop, which is weird because he is like 24, 23 years old. They're going to let him develop into that tackle for the Green Bay Packers down the line. So really was shocked by this pick, but I'm not going to sit here and say I hate the pick because I trust the Green Bay Packers when it comes to these type of selections on tackles and just offensive linemen. So we are going to just look at his PFF profile and maybe some clips. I can break it down for you guys. Now here's Anthony Belton's PFF profile. And it's weird to say because he is an older prospect that I think like 23 or 24 years old. 24 years old. He is a little bit of an older prospect. But he's somebody that needs a little bit more developing, in my opinion, at the next level. But I do think the Packers drafted him because I do think they think he could replace Rasheed Walker down the line probably a year or two from now once they have to make that decision with Rasheed Walker. And I do think Rasheed Walker is solid, but if we could find somebody that's better, you could definitely upgrade over him. Anthony Belton is a guy that needs some more developing, like I said, but has the bend, has the twitch, is pretty quick, has some power to his game. Overall, just a solid tackle that just needs to develop more. This year allowed 3 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, and 8 hurries. And the previous year, 2 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, and 20 hurries. Is a very solid pass blocker with an 87.3 run pass block grade and a 69.4 run block grade. Had an 82.2 true pass block grade this year. And here are some pros and cons real quick for Anthony Belton. It says good length and raw power at 345 pounds. Mows opposing defensive linemen when he has a clean shot. More explosive than expected. Gets to second level with ease. Stonewalls power rushers with strength and pass protection. Hard to bull rush. And then some of his cons are lacks high-end lateral quickness. Some issues with speed rushers. Late hands and pass protection often lets defenders into his chest despite having the length to engulf them. Footwork needs work, causes him to be off balance at times. So needs a little bit of work, but this is somebody that has the potential to be a legit starting tackle in the NFL. And I trust the Packers, man, when it comes to developing tackles, and I trust them with this pick. I'm not going to go over the moon about it because there was some players that I really wanted them to draft, and it wasn't a tackle. But I do trust the Packers, and I'm still pretty sure we're going to come out with one of these edges or cornerbacks at pick 87 or potentially even trade up. Who knows, because day 2 is still going on. So here's a little cool stat I found on Twitter about Anthony Belton. It says right here, he had an 87.3 pass block grade in 2024, fifth among offensive tackles in this draft class. So that's a pretty big stat right there. And I do think he needs some developing, and I don't think he's going to be somebody that's going to be thrown into the fire as a day 1 starter, just a offensive starter for this team. I think the offensive line is still set. I think Rasheed Walker is going to be the left tackle. Left guard probably going to be Jordan Morgan. Center is going to be Alkin Jenkins. Right guard probably still. So I do got one clip for you guys, and it's actually going to be him against Anthony Belton against James Pierce Jr., who is my second edge rusher or second ranked edge rusher in this entire draft class. Somebody that I think very highly of, and he just bullies James Pierce Jr. Watch it right here, number 74 on the right side right here against 27. Just bullies James Pierce Jr. So real quick before I do shoot the outro, get this video over with, I do want to look at the depth chart now. We have left tackle Rasheed Walker, left guard Aaron Banks, center Alkin Jenkins, right guard Sean Ryan, right tackle Zach Tom, which is what I think the real life starting offensive line will look like. Maybe right guard would be Jordan Morgan, and then backup left tackle would probably be Anthony Belton. Like I said, I don't think he has to be the day 1 starter for this offense, but who knows? Anything is possible. He could probably go through mini camps, training camps, kill it through preseasons, and probably be the day 1 starter come regular season. Anything is possible. You never know. But I think the real life starting offensive line will probably be left tackle Rasheed Walker, left guard Aaron Banks, center Alkin Jenkins, right guard Sean Ryan or Jordan Morgan, and then right tackle Zach Tom. That's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about what the starting offensive line would probably be in real life for the Green Bay Packers. And let me know what you guys think about this pick, by the way, in the comments. If you think it's a good one, if you like it, if it's a bad pick. I hope we just get with our second pick in day 2, at least a cornerback or edge rusher or somebody to help us in that defensive side.